All right, so today we're going to be um, taking a deep dive into something
Okay.
that you do every day, multiple times a day,
Right.
chewing and swallowing.
Okay.
You'd think it'd be pretty straightforward, but trust me,
Right.
there's a whole hidden world of complexity behind these seemingly simple actions.
Yeah.
We're using Dr. Rasha Eldeeb's physiology handout as our guide for this deep dive. So let's get chewing on this knowledge.
It's fascinating how much we take these processes for granted.
Right.
We're going to be uncovering not just the mechanics,
Yeah.
but also the evolutionary brilliance behind them.
Okay, let's start with chewing.
Okay.
We all know how to chew, right?
Right.
But what's actually happening in our mouths when we chomp on that delicious sandwich?
It's actually a beautifully orchestrated interplay of voluntary and involuntary actions.
Mm-hmm.
You consciously put food in your mouth and start chewing,
Right.
but then your body takes over with something called the chewing reflex.
So I start the process, but then my body's like, I got this.
Exactly. As you chew,
Okay.
the presence of food triggers your jaw muscles to relax and gravity takes over, dropping your jaw. But then those muscles are stretched and like a rubber band snapping back, they contract, bringing your teeth together again.
Okay.
The cycle repeats,
Uh-huh.
creating that rhythmic chewing motion.
So instead of constantly thinking, chew, chew, chew,
Right.
our bodies have developed a system that just does it for us.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty efficient.
Exactly.
Right.
Think about our ancestors.
Right.
They needed to eat quickly and efficiently to avoid predators.
Right.
If they had to consciously think about every chew,
Oh, yeah.
it'd be an easy target.
Toast.
This reflex frees up brain power for other things,
Oh, that's interesting.
like scanning for danger or planning their next move.
So it's like our bodies are multitasking even when we're just enjoying a meal.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. Now we've got all this chewed up food in our mouths.
Right.
That's where saliva comes in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Saliva is way more than just spit. It's a complex cocktail of enzymes, electrolytes, and other important components that kickstart digestion
Oh, okay.
and protect your mouth.
I never realized how much saliva does beyond just keeping our mouths wet.
Right.
What other surprising functions does it have?
Well, one of his unsung talents is its ability to buffer acids.
Okay.
Think about all the acidic foods and drinks we consume.
Yeah, like orange juice.
Without saliva to neutralize some of that acid, our teeth would be in constant danger of erosion.
Wow. So saliva is like a built-in antacid.
Precisely. It also plays a crucial role in taste.
Okay.
Remember, taste buds can only detect substances that are dissolved.
Oh.
Saliva acts as the solvent dissolving food particles, so your taste buds can register those delicious flavors.
So without saliva, everything would taste bland. That sounds awful.
Exactly. It's the unsung hero of flavor.
What?
And it's fascinating how its composition is perfectly tailored to its function.
Oh.
For instance, you know how salty foods make you thirsty?
Mm-hmm.
That's because saliva is actually hypotonic to plasma, meaning it has a lower concentration of electrolytes.
Okay.
So when you eat something salty, your body tries to dilute the salt by drawing water into your mouth,
Okay.
which makes you feel thirsty.
So my craving for a giant glass of water after a bag of chips is all thanks to saliva's unique composition.
It all comes down to maintaining a delicate balance within our bodies.
That's pretty cool. So we've got this chewed up food mixed with a powerful cocktail of saliva. What happens next?
All right.
This is where we move from chewing to swallowing, right?
Exactly. Now we're talking about deglutition, the fancy term for swallowing.
Okay.
And it's a surprisingly complex process that involves a carefully choreographed sequence of events.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Break it down for me.
Well, first you have to form a bolus,
The bolus.
which is that chewed up food mixed with saliva.
Okay.
Saliva plays a crucial role here because it makes the bolus slippery and cohesive,
Okay.
allowing it to slide down your throat easily.
So saliva is not just about taste and protection. It's also the key to making sure food doesn't get stuck in our throats.
Precisely. Once you've formed a bolus, you use your tongue to push it towards the back of your mouth.
Okay.
And that's when the involuntary phase of swallowing kicks in.
So up until that point, I'm in control, but then my body takes over.
Exactly. Once the bolus hits a certain point in your throat,
Okay.
it triggers a cascade of reflexes controlled by the swallowing center in your brainstem.
Wow.
Your soft palate lifts to block off your nasal cavity, preventing food from shooting out your nose.
I'm trying to picture that.
Mhm.
Not a pretty sight.
And your vocal cords close tightly to protect your airway,
Right.
making sure nothing goes down the wrong pipe.
Oh, that's good to know. I'd rather not have my lunch end up in my lungs.
Right.
So our bodies have all these safeguards in place to make sure swallowing goes smoothly. What happens once the food is past my airway?
Well, that's where the esophagus, that muscular tube connecting your throat to your stomach, comes into play. And the star of this show is peristalsis, which is a series of wave-like muscle contractions that propel the food bolus down your esophagus and into your stomach. It's like a carefully coordinated squeeze that pushes the food along.
So it's not just gravity pulling the food down.
Nope. Peristalsis is powerful enough to move food against gravity. In fact, you could swallow even if you were hanging upside down.
Wow, so astronauts can enjoy their space food without worrying about it getting stuck.
Exactly. Peristalsis ensures that food reaches its destination regardless of your orientation.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Our bodies really are amazing. Now, you mentioned that this whole swallowing process is controlled by the swallowing center in our brainstem.
Right.
What happens if something goes wrong with that control center?
Well, that's when you can get dysphagia, which is the medical term for difficulty swallowing. It can be caused by a variety of things, from neurological conditions to structural abnormalities in the esophagus.
So something as simple as swallowing can be disrupted by problems in the brain nerves or even the muscles themselves.
Exactly. It highlights the intricate connection between our different bodily systems. And it also reminds us that even seemingly simple actions are the result of complex, coordinated processes.
It definitely makes you appreciate the everyday miracles happening inside us all the time. Now, before we move on, I'm curious about something you mentioned earlier, those esophageal sphincters. What exactly are they, and what's their role in this whole swallowing extravaganza?
Ah, yes. The esophageal sphincters, they're like muscular gatekeepers, making sure things move in the right direction. You have two of them, the upper esophageal sphincter, or UES, at the top of your esophagus, and the lower esophageal sphincter, or LES, at the bottom where it meets your stomach.
Okay, so they're like one-way valves preventing backflow.
Precisely. The UES prevents air from entering your esophagus when you breathe, and the LES stops stomach acid from splashing back up into your esophagus.
So they're both crucial for maintaining a smooth flow of traffic in the digestive system. What happens if one of these sphincters malfunctions?
Well, if the LES is too relaxed, you can get reflux where stomach acid escapes back up into the esophagus, causing that burning sensation we call heartburn.
Ugh, I've been there.
Well,
Not fun. And what about if the LES is too tight?
that can lead to a condition called achalasia, where food has difficulty passing into the stomach. It can cause a feeling of fullness in the chest, regurgitation of food, and even weight loss.
So these sphincters really are unsung heroes working tirelessly to keep our digestive systems running smoothly.
Absolutely. They're small but mighty, and their function highlights the incredible level of precision and coordination happening within our bodies every moment of every day.
This whole discussion is making me really think about how much we take for granted. We just pop food in our mouths and swallow without ever considering the intricate dance of muscles, nerves, and reflexes that make it all possible.
It's a testament to the power of evolution. And it's not just humans either. Different animals have evolved unique adaptations for chewing and swallowing, perfectly suited to their diets and environments.
Oh, tell me more. I'm always fascinated by how other creatures have tackled these challenges.
Well, think about snakes, for instance. They don't chew their food at all. Their jaws are incredibly flexible, allowing them to swallow prey much larger than their heads.
Whoa, so they just gulp it down whole? That's both amazing and a little terrifying.
It is. And it's made possible by some fascinating adaptations in their skulls and muscles. They can literally walk their jaws over their prey, slowly engulfing it whole.
I guess they never have to worry about getting food stuck in their teeth.
Exactly. And then you have ruminants like cows and sheep who have multiple stomach compartments and actually regurgitate their food to chew it multiple times, a process called rumination.
So they chew, swallow, bring it back up, chew again, and swallow again. That's serious dedication to chewing. Why do they do that?
It's all about breaking down those tough plant fibers that humans can't digest. By chewing their food multiple times, they expose more surface area for their gut bacteria to work on extracting every last bit of nutrition.
It's incredible how diverse these digestive strategies can be. From snakes swallowing their prey whole to cows chewing their cud, it's clear that evolution has come up with some pretty creative solutions.
It really has. And it just goes to show that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to chewing and swallowing. Every creature has its own unique strategy for getting the job done.
Well, this deep dive has been an eye-opener. We've journeyed from the familiar act of chewing to the intricate dance of swallowing, exploring the fascinating world of saliva, esophageal sphincters, and even the diverse digestive strategies of other animals.
We've seen how even the most basic actions we perform every day are actually the result of complex, coordinated processes. It's a reminder that our bodies are truly amazing machines capable of remarkable feats.
I'm definitely feeling a newfound appreciation for every bite I take and every swallow I make, and I'm excited to keep exploring the hidden complexities of our world one deep dive at a time.
Me too. There's always more to discover, more to learn, and more to marvel at.
And on that note, let's wrap up this fascinating exploration of chewing and swallowing.
Until next time.
So next time I see a cow chewing its cud, I'll have a whole new level of respect for what's going on in there.
Yeah, it really is remarkable. It's
Yeah.
amazing to think about all the different ways that animals have adapted to their diets, you know?
Right.
Imagine the evolutionary pressures that led to snakes being able to, like, unhinge their jaws or cows having multiple stomachs.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what the limits of adaptation are like.
Yeah.
What other bizarre and wonderful digestive strategies are out there in the animal kingdom?
Oh, there's tons.
Oh.
Well, you've got creatures like starfish that can actually push their stomachs out of their bodies to digest prey externally.
Wait, what? They digest their food outside of their bodies?
Yep, they essentially engulf their prey with their stomach and break it down right there
Wow.
before absorbing the nutrients. Talk about efficient.
That's mind-blowing. It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
I know nature is full of surprises,
Yeah.
and it reminds us that there are countless ways to solve the challenges of survival. This whole deep dive has been a wild ride. We've gone from the seemingly mundane act of chewing our food to exploring the intricate world of swallowing the unsung hero that is saliva, the gatekeeping esophageal sphincters, and even the bizarre digestive adaptations of other animals.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's been a journey through the hidden complexities of our own bodies and the remarkable diversity of life on Earth,
And it all started with just a simple bite.
which, as we've discovered, is anything but simple. Every time we eat, we're engaging in a complex process that's been shaped by millions of years of evolution.
It makes you appreciate the everyday miracles that are happening inside of us and all around us.
Absolutely.
So next time you sit down for a meal, take a moment to savor not just the taste, but also the incredible journey that food takes from your plate to your stomach.
I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's a journey orchestrated by a symphony of muscles and nerves and enzymes and reflexes all working together to keep us fueled and thriving.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of chewing and swallowing.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll catch you next time for another adventure in knowledge.
Until then, keep exploring and keep wondering.